Ho, ho, ho. Implicit bias rolling into Christmas season. What, Caleb? What are you laughing about there? Did I just blow your headphones out?
Well, no. It's just when you say that, I think of something that is a different context.
No, it's a Christmas story. You brought up. You'll shoot your eye out,
I brought up a Christmas story.
So remember when the kid goes up to sit with Santa?
Yeah.
What he looks him in the face, and Santa goes, ho, ho, ho. Just
it was
like
terrifying. Like he freaked out.
Just like you did.
Yeah.
I've never seen you terrified. I saw it right there.
Like in my mind, you walk into go in the food court of the mall and yell that and just see who turns and looks at you. And you're like, oh, ho, ho, ho.
Have you been in the food court in the mall lately? Yeah, nobody's going to be surprised. Nobody's going to turn around and look. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty much is what it is. Welcome into Implicit Bias. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We are having a fantastic after Thanksgiving episode. We've got a great crew here in the Top Secret Podcast there for you. Couple of wrinkles for this show because, man, we're really being thankful for all the weekly whiskeys that we have access to here on the show, which means that this extra Saturday in November, it's kind of a potluck whiskey type of weekend. Whatever's on the bar, whatever's not on the bar and in the shelves that you can't see, located here somewhere in the Top Secret Podcast layer, whatever's in the kitchen that's got about another 20, 30 bottles, it's all available to the crew here in the TSPL. We're going to talk about it. We'll find a way to somehow play a game for the What Would You Pay Championship belt from Box Drop. We'll figure that out somehow. But let me first of all introduce you to the crew. You already heard from Caleb Morse. He is the Rustic Renegade here on the show. Oh, he's got the Implicit Bias Whiskey Tasting Journal.
Product placement.
Yeah, thank you. You can find that on Amazon. Just go there, type in Implicit Bias Whiskey Tasting Journal. It'll pop up. You can have it in a matter of days. Easy to get, great to have. And one of those little stocking stuffers that works really, really well.
And look, if you drink like we do, can you subscribe and get these in the mail like every month?
Okay, if you need one of those in a month, because it took us, a solid...
It took a year.
Was it a year or 2 years?
No, it was a year.
It was a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pages. Wow, I don't know if I should be ashamed or proud.
Sometimes, most of the time we drink one bottle every Thursday. Sometimes we drink 2 and 3.
It's more often 2. It's a solid 2 average. Let's be honest here.
If we're being truthful.
Yeah, it's probably 3 more times than it's
if you
one.
Or someone you know
saying.
has a drinking problem.
Yeah, no, seriously. Keep it as a hobby.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then we get the peanut gallery from the bar where we've got Jonathan Broussard and we've got Sage Bro. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you here. Hopefully, you've got the new digs. You've got the new sign behind you, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. What are y'all thinking?
Love it, man. Love it. It's brightening up the place.
Yeah. We need something to take away from Sage's face. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Sage.
I'm going to sip on that.
You might sip on that 5 or 6 times. And anyway, so wait, I have a question because I send out, for those who don't know, I like to give a little bit of background on the show. I send out topics to a text string pretty much every week before the show. And I know, Caleb, I'm sorry that it drives you so nuts because it's a new text string every week.
It is a lot to track.
It is a lot to track. I get it. But the really interesting thing is I put in the text string for this week. And what's really fun is that if you have an iPhone and there's a contact that you agree to share with other people, it says, hey, you have a new contact available. Ever notice that if it changes it? So I get this, hey, you have a contact update. And it doesn't say Jonathan Broussard. Oh, yeah, he knows what's coming now. It says Master Broussard. Jonathan, you got some explaining to do. What is up with that? Where did that come from?
In a house full of women, it's the only thing I can get to, give me a little notice. And
I didn't want to presume anything. I'm like, where did this come from? But that is being saved in my phone. Yes. I'm like, is this like what they call a young man under the age of 13? I'm like, what is going on here? What is the deal?
I figured I would try it out that way. When I talk to Siri, it would say, yes, master. But even Siri doesn't call me master.
Shocker.
That's good.
Shocker. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the whiskey that we are sampling right now. You can probably see the empty bottle sitting next to me. So that is a Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge to the Implicit Bias crew and family out there who's listening or watching. If you're watching us on X, on mobile, or on X on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever, that this is not the first time we've had this blue run on the show. This blue run, and I love this one. This is the High Rye Bourbon Whiskey coming in at 111 proof. So, gents, what do we think? Let's start at the bar. Crew with a K. Guys, what are you thinking?
I like this one. I've had it before. I think here on the show, maybe once before. I don't own the bottle, but I've always said that I'm not really a rye guy, but this one hits well with me. It's not too much bite on the front end. It's just a little warm, and I like it a lot.
Like it a lot. All right, Sage, what do you think?
I'm not a rye guy at all. I'm barely into the whiskey game. The only whiskey I really drink is on this show, as well as everybody knows.
That's not factual.
Shut up.
Somebody's wife is going to be upset because we're going to spill all the secrets here this week.
No, it's good. Like you said, it's warm. It's 111. I'm normally the less proof guy, but this is pretty good. It is pretty good.
So remember, this is a high rye bourbon whiskey. It doesn't mean that it's a rye. It means that while it's over 51% corn on the mash bill, the rye percentage in the mash bill is over 25%. That's what it takes to classify as a high rye. Walker seems to have enjoyed it as we are barely into the second segment of this week's show, and Walker has virtually nothing left. All right, Implicit Bias Pledge, what are you thinking?
I enjoyed it. I do get like the little burn, like the tug on your throat, but I think it's really good.
That's an astute, that's in depth. I'm not impressed at all. All right, Caleb, let's go ahead and get it out because we know what's coming here.
I need more.
Yeah, well,
First and foremost.
you can thank Sage for what's left.
Sorry, buddy.
But I mean, I love the spice. I love the hint of cinnamon. You get that nice little Kentucky hug from that 111 proof. It's just sweet enough. And you get, I don't know the right way to word it, like a spicy vanilla or a spicy caramel with it. And it just sits so well. Blue Run is definitely one of my favorites. Every time I see the bottle, I'm like, yeah, I could use another one. It's just, I'm not thankful that it's empty.
You're not thankful that it's empty. In other words, you're upset that it's empty.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I was trying to work in the Thanksgiving thankful.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
ruined it.
Well, no, but now you're going for the double negative, or the negative of the. I mean, I prefer to speak in positive language. I'm not happy this is empty. I am thankful for what I had.
I am thankful for
But
what
would
I
like
had
more.
and I am remiss that there's not another bottle.
There you go. I like that. Yeah. And I agree with you 100%. Blue Run does a fantastic job with pretty much every spirit they put out on the market. Their stuff, I've really yet to have any that I didn't like. I'm yet to have any that's not a solid green on the Morse Whiskey rating code. As I seem to remember it, this is a blue, and I'll tell you what I like about this. I get a middle of the road between honey and caramel. It's not over honey, it's not deep caramel, but it's right in the middle. So it's just that hint of caramel with that same honey flavor. I get zero burn on this. At 111 proof, to me, this is one of the most easy drinkers I think we've ever had on the show at over 107. It is so smooth. I was actually wondering when I kind of read the proof, I was like, is this really still 111? Because it doesn't come off that way.
It's a phenomenal done bottle. And I was looking to see what it was in the book, but it was in the other book.
Oh, so it's okay. It's been around for a while.
Yeah,
then.
it means it's been since before June. Pre-June.
Which means that maybe this bottle has sat a little longer than I might have liked. Because if it's pre-June, we're right at 6 months if that's where it hits, and you really shouldn't open a bottle and let it go longer than 6 without finishing it. But this,
I don't know, and it's weird because for us to have a bottle that lasts 6 months is strange. Like in my house, if it lasts 6 weeks,
if it lasts 6 hours, that's a whole nother story, right?
We went duck hunting this weekend and bought a new bottle to bring out there. And it lasted 3 hours.
I'm actually shocked it lasted that long, especially. Well, it was a little warm this weekend. It wasn't quite as cool as you
And
might
look,
let it
I had
like.
to put out decoys. I had to get the blinds ready, brush them up. So
That's why you called me.
I did all that first before I called you.
All right, so let's rate this on the Morse Whiskey rating code. We're not going to play What Would You Pay with this. What we're going to do is we are going to play What Would You Pay with something else for the What Would You Pay championship belt chain from Box Drop of Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, let's start at the bar. I'm curious, gentlemen, where do you rate this on the Morse Whiskey rating code? Red, I would not drink this even if it was free. Yellow, I would only drink this if it was free. Green, I would seek this. I would buy this. Blue, I would seek this out. Where do you rate it on the Morse Whiskey rating code?
I'm going green.
Okay.
Just because of the proof. I like it lesser.
Just
than-
because you're a wuss.
Hey,
That's what I thought.
It's okay. But green.
By the way, your skirt's a little long. Anyway, Jonathan. Jonathan, what are you thinking?
I'm going to go green as well.
Really?
Yeah.
You're killing me.
'Cause, again, not being a rye person, I still feel that rye bite to me, and it's not
Okay.
something I have to have.
Okay. All right. Caleb,
It's a blue.
it's a blue for you.
It's a blue. Like I love the spice. I love the hint of just the alcohol you get. I love how it's not overly sweet. I don't like a really sweet bourbon.
Agreed.
So, and I love the fact that I'm not getting heavy wheat, because wheat, like when it's a wheated whiskey, it's like, And I just
Yeah,
don't
this has
like
got a
that.
long finish to it,
Yeah.
which a lot of wheat whiskeys, sometimes you get that flat flavor.
Yeah, it just finishes it off. And you're like, I'm doing great. And it just stops. So this one to me hits on all cylinders.
Hits on all cylinders. All right, Walker, what about you?
Solid blue.
Solid blue. Wow.
It's a tie.
Is that like solid gold?
Sure.
Nobody remembers solid gold? Oh, come on. Somebody's got to remember solid gold.
I remember.
Yeah, Jonathan remembers solid gold. Great show. Fantastic
young.
show. Great music. Sage, SpongeBob SquarePants is too old for you. I mean, seriously, dude.
Kavan, the solid white should tell you. I remember solid gold.
Yeah, well, hey, I resemble that comment. It's all I'm saying. To me, this is absolutely a blue. It was a blue the first time. This is a blue again. I am a rye drinker. I like rye whiskey, so this really kind of hits right where I like it to. So you get just enough sweet of the bourbon, but you've got that spice of the rye, that little bit of aggression, that 111 proof that I honestly thought would have come in a lot lower. And, you know, as it sits, you're going to lose some of that proof, but it still stands up. It's still got that just golden, almost unfiltered honey. Maybe that's that mid caramel flavor that I was getting.
That wild honey where it's
Yeah.
not that typical like farm raised stuff. And that's what gets me is when you get to something that's like 110 plus, honestly, like 85 to 95 proof burns more to me than 110 plus, if that makes any sense. And I think normally it's because the stuff that's going to be in the 80s and 90s, you have a lot more of that sweetness, and that sweetness is what off puts me in the beginning. So it's kind of like that double entendre. I'm like, ooh, I wasn't ready.
Yeah, no, I get it. I understand that. I'm with you though. That 107 to 110, 115,
Man, it
that
starts getting good.
yeah, that is when it really starts rolling. And I know it's a little too hot for some people. Sage. Anyway, yeah, to me, this is an absolute blue. I'm sorry. We have a female guest this week? I didn't hear that. Oh. Sorry, Sage. Didn't mean to misgender. Anyway.
Misinformation.
That was too easy. Anyway, so look, I love this blue run, and the fun part of this week's episode is we're going to have more. We're going to have multiple weekly whiskeys. So when Caleb said we go through 2 or 3, we've got lots to choose from this week. Here's kind of where I'm going to align on this one. Ballpark. So is this bottle over a C note or under a C note? And is it worth it? We can go around the
Okay.
we can go around the TSPL, the Mr. Lester's TSPL. Let's start with Walker in the corner. Walker, what are you thinking? C note, yes or no, and worth it?
Yes, and worth it.
Yes, and whoa, Walker's cheap as.
No,
I'm just saying.
No, I'm not.
Oh, Walker.
No, I'm not.
Have you bought
Walker.
an engagement ring yet?
Oh, I was waiting on it.
Bruh. No,
look,
that's
hey.
not mean I'm cheap.
Dude, this has
Either
been
you're
since
cheap
I
or
was on
you're-
the show last.
Either you're cheap or you're scared. Which one is it?
No comment.
Yeah.
All right, Caleb, what are you thinking?
Over a C note, worth every penny.
All right, gentlemen at the bar.
I'm going to say a little under, but it's still worth it.
So how far under? I mean, are you talking like
I'm gonna
50
say
bucks?
Over or
I'm
under?
gonna
Over
say
or under?
89.
Okay,
90-ish.
so right almost
Right
at
there,
it. Yeah,
right
right at it. Sage, we know you don't know anything, so we're going to skip you. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't even know what a C note is, so
You can hit a C note. I've heard you sing. Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. So.
yeah, $100 bill. Is it $100, you think?
No, it's not. But it is still worth it.
That makes no sense.
What?
That
Under 100?
it is under it. So first of all, yes, it is a $100 bottle of whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Now is it still worth it?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's good. Hey, yeah, y'all asked me to be on here.
All right.
It's rare that we are not laughing with someone in the TSPL,
good.
that we are just straight up laughing at them.
This is good.
You are seeing and hearing that right now. We are laughing at Sage.
Hey,
And this is how the night starts.
Yes, this is off to a very fun night on Implicit Bias. Well, depends on when you're listening to the show. If you're catching our terrestrial broadcast, whether it's NOLA, Lafayette, Louisiana, whether it's, central like Vidalia, Natchez, Mississippi, whether it's Monroe all the way over Ruston, maybe even Shreveport, Bossier, it might be in the morning. So if you're catching us in the morning, it would be a fantastic morning. But if you're catching us on socials, yeah, we're absolutely in the evening because that's when we record. Anyway, so we now have identified that, yeah, this is a fantastic bottle of whiskey. We've identified that Walker is not so cheap that he would avoid this. We've identified that Sage knows nothing.
and you would be correct.
Dude, no, I'm just messing with you. You stepped into it this week, and even though you're not sitting directly across from me, I don't know why you're just in the line of fire. I apologize. That's just the way it works. Walker, the finger, we're having fun here, but okay. The 1 minute finger. We got some problems of the world to solve. We've got some more weekly whiskey we need to go find and grab out of cabinets and all this. This is probably going to look like a hoarder, like we have been hoarding whiskey by the time this is all over. Find us on our socials. Please follow, like, share. It helps the show. It helps us bring you more of your implicit bias.